this meeting of New Iberia City Council to order. We'll have the prayer and the pledge led by Councilman Calvin Bagley.
In light of the recent incidents we've had lately, we need to be aware that we can't control our time on earth, and I think we need to make sure that we treat everybody with respect and with the dignity that they deserve. As elected officials, I'll ask us to keep in mind that we're here to do the will of the people and help those that we can't help. I'd like just to repeat the Lord's Prayer.
Amen.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilmember Natalie Robin.
Present.
Councilmember Peggy Durant.
Here.
Councilmember Robert Swear.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Dan Doyle.
Here.
Councilmember David Merrill.
Here.
Councilmember Raymond Lewis. Councilmember Calvin Bagnell.
Here.
Mayor Curry Hamilton.
Thank you. The first agenda item is public comment, and it is an opportunity for anyone from the audience to come to the podium and speak concerning an agenda item. Since no cards have been completed, I don't think that anyone is requesting to speak concerning an agenda item. So we'll move on to agenda item 2, which is acceptance of the minutes of the Tuesday, June 21st, 2016 meeting as published on Thursday, June 30th, 2016.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Merrill.
Second.
Second by Mr. Doyle. Is there any discussion? Any objection? No objection, motion carries. The next agenda item is a budget amendment. Madam Clerk?
2015-2016, this is budget amendment number 11. An ordinance amending the ordinances levying certain taxes, appropriating the funds necessary to defray the expenses and liabilities of the city of New Iberia for the year 2015-2016.
Okay, just to explain, the first part of the budget amendment is revenue, and it is for the sale of the property on Admiral Doyle. And also, we received a donation from the Allied Waste Community Foundation for $1,000. The expenditures are, you've already approved us joining the MPO, and that's $19,902. And you did not approve the $25,000 for the AC repairs. It was an emergency. We had to order the coils, so we have it in for this budget amendment this evening. So that's this one amendment, and I need a motion. A motion by Mr.
Second.
Swear, a second by Mr. Merrill. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to say something.
Yes, ma'am.
Usually when there's an emergency like that, they usually poll the council. You know, so it would be okay.
I think,
No problem.
We
It would
did
not be a
speak to a
problem
number
with
of
me for
them,
sure,
yeah.
but just to say,
okay,
usually.
I think we did speak to a number of them, but I don't know if we didn't reach you. But
I'll return your call, but.
yeah, I don't know what happened. That's
Okay.
probably what it was.
Okay.
'Cause I spoke to a number of them.
Okay, but that was
Okay.
an emergency mushroom.
The calls will be in the end of the week. All right, I'd ask you to please vote your machines. Motion carries unanimously. The next budget amendment, Madam Clerk?
This is budget amendment number 12, an ordinance amending the ordinance levying certain taxes, appropriating the funds necessary to defray the expenses and liability of the city of New Iberia for the year 2015-2016.
Okay, this amendment is to reimburse the disaster fund from the general fund to cover the expenditures that the money that we spent on demolitions. And we'll have $523,215 in the disaster fund after this transfer. A motion by Mr. Swear,
Second.
second by Mr. Bagnell.
We're back on track.
We're
where we
back.
should be.
Right.
Back.
So the
We'll have-
money came from the sale of the, not
Did
from
we do
the,
Civic Source for that one?
No, all of these are coming from the sale of the
Property?
the property on Amador?
Okay.
Even that's coming from the property sell the property in Amador? What about the other properties?
The other properties, part of it was for the police liaisons, and the other part was for.
Well, no, that was civic
It's
something, I
private.
thought.
Oh, I thought that's what you're talking about.
No, I was saying that we sold some other properties.
Do you
uh,
mind approaching the podium?
We sold some other properties to some individuals, those lots on,
Wait, we haven't spent that.
We
But
haven't.
wait,
That hasn't.
but remember we were
Haven't.
using the civic source money for the demolition, I thought. We had
Right.
33,000 from civic source. It was not
Right.
this. We had 33,000 from
Well,
civic
whenever
source.
we budgeted the civic source money, that's when the police
Right.
person was coming, so we
Okay.
did that all in the same revision. So, I mean, you could take it all together. It's, you know, there is some addition, I think it's 9,900 left from civic source that is added to the 849. You know, really, you have that much available.
I just didn't know, because, we took it from disaster fund, and we put
Right.
it back in disaster fund, but I didn't know where those dollars was coming from.
We're taking
from
all
the
out of the
850.
general fund. We're taking
But it's
all
all
the
come from the
general fund.
850?
Well,
'Cause we
some
didn't
of
see-
it
Well,
is
some of it's
civic
coming,
source.
and actually, the revisions that we've had so far to the general fund has put in an additional 51,000. So, I mean, if you start there and you add the 849, all of these are coming out of that total. So
Okay.
it's not like one's, you know, it's all coming here, or,
understand.
you know, it's just a total it's coming
From all of that, all that
From
together. that we sold.
everything
Okay.
together,
Good.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
We had a
about
$51,000 reimbursement from the DA's office.
Right.
They
Yeah.
sent us a check. So everything has been put in the general fund,
Okay.
and then we're just taking money out to
Okay.
pay
Right.
these.
Yeah, because,
So the disaster fund will have been reimbursed at
yeah,
this
'cause
point.
remember the last one we talked about at the time, that was my question on how we was gonna replace that money.
Right.
And from what I was thinking, it was gonna be from that first part of the properties, not some of those other ones we were talking about.
Right,
The
right.
850.
We're good.
Right.
Will we be having money to do more demolition?
I think we will.
Now, I see we were donated $1,000 from Ally, that's
Mhm.
nice.
That
The air
was
conditioner.
From the, no. We were gonna use that to, finish the front of, City Hall, the cleaning up the pond, and then we did that landscaping.
Good, thank you.
So,
That's nice.
Okay. All right, if you vote your machines. Motion carries unanimously. The next agenda item is another ordinance, Madam Clerk. No, but just say the ordinance.
Budget amendment, ordinance 13.
Okay, and this is, I gave you a list of items that the city, I mean, this is not frivolous spending. We are in dire need of these items, but I separated them into individually so that you could vote on whether or not you wanted to purchase the item. We do have enough money in our general fund. I think we'll still be in good shape. After the purchase of all the items, we'll still be, ahead, what did we say, $267,318 if we purchased everything, correct, Fayetta?
Yeah, and that's including the sales that have not been budgeted yet.
Yeah, we have some sales that are pending. It also includes, she projected a $269,159 decline in sales tax revenue.
Assuming that it's down 2%, that would be the
2%. So, I mean, she's kind of projected everything that she thinks that we'll foresee for the rest of the year. And even with, the decline in revenue from sales tax, we should show a surplus of $267,318 after the purchases. A motion by Mr. Swear, in favor of
Second.
agenda item
Which one?
What is
3C.
this for?
We're on C.
For the,
The
yeah,
bucket truck?
The bucket truck.
Motion by
Can-
Mr. Swear.
And a
Second.
second by Mr. Merrill.
Okay.
Is it open?
Can I
It's open for
put a question?
discussion, yes. And so does Mr. Begno, and then,
Leroy, that bucket truck,
do-
kind of what is it used for? I mean, I know they put the letters on the slime and they fix some lights.
Yeah, you have 45 caution lights that it's used to change bulbs, repair whatever that needs to be repaired on it.
Okay.
You have to hire an electrician with a bucket truck. That's $400 for a light bulb.
Right.
Trim trees, put up your flags for the festival, and the Slimer.
And how old is that truck we have now?
I don't have no clue. It was there when I came in, and it was bought used from Clico. So I don't have no. I-
Yeah, I was just, some
Okay.
people question, I said, well,
Yeah.
I'll find out
Right.
tonight, but we use it
Yeah.
for.
right, and the truck would be shared by City Park and
Yeah.
Right.
Leroy,
So it's no.
Public Works.
I mean,
Okay, I just had asked.
Dan, I'll put it to you point straight, for the public to know, it might start like it might not start when you wanna get in it. You know, it might,
No, it might not.
it might not, so.
Leroy, are we,
Mr. Bagnell, yeah.
oh, is this a new one, or is this a used one? we're
That's
looking
a new
at?
one.
A new one.
New
Okay,
one.
and, I think I know the answer, but I'm gonna ask you anyway, but with school starting, I know we normally trim trees for the buses. Is that something that we do as a city, or someone else?
No, that's what
That's
we
what
do.
we do.
That's
Trim-
what we do.
Trim the trees, no.
Trim
okay.
trees.
All right.
Right.
We
That's
need a
right.
truck to do
Yeah.
it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay,
But-
thank you.
Anyone else? Please
What
vote.
I wanted to
Oh,
say was,
Mr. Wright?
I know that the bucket truck is used for trimming trees in different area and whatnot. But it seemed to be, I got a call to get my tree trims and I still don't get them trimmed. So what's the problem?
Miss Peggy, we're in your district right now.
Where?
The guy that I use to trim trees also sprays my roadside. And then he also takes care of the signs. So it's not a daily thing that we do is trim trees. But we're in District 2 as we speak.
I'm well aware that because we got a pie that's divided into 7.
Yeah.
And it's
But
supposed
I
to
take
stay
it-
1 week in each district completing everything in that district or it changed.
I take one district at a time and I go through it. And we trim everything that needs to be trimmed in that district, then we move into the next one.
And you cut the grass and cut the trees off the sidewalk and everything else.
Everything that I need to do.
Everything need to be repaired.
Right.
That's why I feel like I've been left out because I gotta call in so much work order till I feel like I'm a department head for public works. I call in so much and then I look and it's not done. It hurt me. It really hurt me because right now the grass is so tall on Anderson. It just looks like cones. Since the 4th month I've been
Wait,
calling.
you know what, Mr. Wright?
I know, but
I don't want to be rude, but
I
if you can
understand.
turn this in, this is not
Oh, I've
this
turned it in
agenda
since the
item.
4th month, 7th day.
Okay.
16, oh yes, everything, I got tablets like that.
Okay, well, just, if you just turn in, but we way off of the
Turn them in
agenda.
again
Yes,
and again.
Okay, anybody else have
Oh,
a
you
comment
gonna tell me she got a list this
about the
long.
bucket truck, concerning the bucket truck? Okay,
I want to ask Mr. Landry if
Sure.
we can probably hang for the next
right.
ordinance, if you don't mind, please.
Sure.
okay, I'd ask you to please vote your machines. We're gonna vote on machines on each one individually.
I'm gonna vote yes, but I want to see progress.
Yes, motion carries unanimously. The next agenda item, Madam Clerk.
This is budget amendment 2015-2016-14.
Okay, and this is requesting a purchase of a sweeper, and Mr. Leroy can tell you where we are. The second big sweeper died. It's in the graveyard, and we have that one small sweeper that we purchased a few years ago, and that's it. And we're hoping that we could possibly piggyback with Lafayette on the purchase. We don't know for sure, but we're going to try, but it should be somewhere around 215,000.
What you
For a
mean,
new
y'all?
sweeper.
I had a question too.
We'll be able to, we won't have to bid it out. We'll be able to go ahead and just make the purchase. It'll be a lot quicker.
Mayor, I got a
Mr.
question.
Dahl's making a motion, and we'll put a second on the floor, and then we'll,
Second.
Yeah, I want
a
that.
second by Mr. Bagno. And now you may ask your question.
Mr. Landry,
Mhm.
was there any other offer made for another street sweeper that might be cheaper or something like that?
There is, I've met with several vendors, but this would be the quickest route we could go within 90 days if Lafayette, City of Lafayette, okays to go, let us piggyback with them.
All right,
Other than that, we're 6 months out.
all right. The other one would be cheaper, but would be 6 months out.
I'm not saying it would be cheaper. I'm just saying it'd be 6 months out.
We have to go through the
And-
bid.
Right,
the-
right.
They're not understanding.
And-
If we don't, we have to go through the bid process.
Process.
But if we
Right.
can piggyback on Lafayette, we'll be able to purchase it much quicker.
Yeah, because they're in
And-
place to be able to get it a lot sooner.
A lot sooner, and all the other manufacturers don't have a broom.
Okay.
It's all vacuum.
And the reason I'm asking that, you know why? Because I'm looking at the funds and
Oh, yes.
what would be
I-
the cheapest route to go. yeah.
I look at them too. I mean, I don't want to spend money that we don't need to spend.
I know we need it, that's fine. You know,
But it is a large one, not small.
It's
It is a large one.
It's a large one.
Yes.
Mr. Bagno,
Leroy, at one time we had two sweepers? And
At
then-
one time, we had 4 sweepers.
Okay.
Used to.
So now we're down to none, other than the little mini
The
one.
little
that we
mini
want,
one.
the small.
The mini one.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, Ms. Lang.
All right.
Mr. Rack, do you have
Yes, ma'am.
something?
All I want to say, and I hope it's a plus for the city or something. I hear cheap. I keep hearing cheap. But the way we use these machines, we need to get the best qualified with the lowest price. And if it's not the low, we need to get the best. Because those machines, well, I know one of them is antique. But I'm just saying, to get the best. Because when I buy something cheap, it don't last.
That's
I
correct.
buy something with better quality, it lasts us a while. So sometimes it's best to get the better quality.
And this piece of equipment is in so much dust all day long
Oh,
that, you know.
but they
Yes.
don't put water in it?
Oh, yes, they do, but I mean, it's picking up dust. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, that's all I want to say.
and that's what the city of Lafayette uses, all
Okay.
Elgin, so.
Oh, Elgin, that's what I want. Okay, you can, if
Okay.
you please vote your machines, and this is on the street sweeper, the purchase of a street sweeper. Thank you, Mr. Leroy. Motion carries unanimously. The next agenda item is another budget amendment, Madam Clerk.
2015-2016, this is budget amendment 15.
And this is for the purchase of a zero-turn, zero-turn and trailer for the Parks and Recreation Department for approximately $20,000.
What's a zero turn?
Motion.
It's a lawnmower.
Oh.
Motion by Mr. Begno,
Second.
second by Mr. Merrill. Is there any discussion? Ms. Roban?
I just would like to know the make and the model.
Lord, it's
That's
still
the
hot in
big
here.
price. So I'd like to know
Well-
exactly. There's a bunch of different types of zero turn mowers. So for 20,000, I'd like to know the make, the model of the mower, and
Heather's
then
right
the
back there.
type of size of the trailer that we're purchasing.
They've got-
And
She's right here. We've gotten some approximate
It's
cost
actually
estimates.
the 20,000 is for a zero turn and a
the
trailer.
trailer, right? And so what's
Right,
the breakdown?
Right. It's 8,000 for the zero turn and 12,000 for the trailer.
And what's
It's
the
a
size of
16
the
foot.
trailer?
It's a 16-foot trailer.
Is the trailer gonna be used for other things other than zero turns? Is that what?
Oh, yeah, right now, you know, we're cutting trees and
Multi-purpose, yeah.
hauling,
Multi-
you know,
okay.
branches and things of that sort, right.
8,000 is pretty on and off number.
Didn't we
For the
have a
trailer?
trailer?
You've gotten some quotes.
Right,
She's been
Right.
working on this.
right, that's commercial zero turn, right.
Okay, thank you. I just need to know the breakdown.
Thank you. Anyone
Didn't we
else
have a
has,
trailer
does anyone else?
Yes.
What happened? You going on?
Well, we still have one, but, you know, it's not in the best shape.
Heather, I got a question too.
Yes.
Is it
I
available,
think
once
they
we,
need to take better care of these
I'm sorry?
machines.
is it
The
available
drill
to
is
be able to
hard to wear.
move on as soon as we make the decision and everything?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, I ask you please vote your machines. Motion carries unanimously. The next agenda item is,
Budget amendment 2015-16, number 16.
okay, we have roofs that are leaking in West End Park, City Park, and the Senior Center. And we've received quotes that come to, this is approximately $134,000 to repair the roofs. I don't know if you have any other questions that,
I do.
let's put a motion and a second on the
A
floor.
motion.
Motion by Mr. Swear, second by Mr. Lewis. Mr. Rack.
What I wanted to ask, I see they say City Park and they say Western Park. At one time, one of the roof was $100-some thousand to repair. So I'm trying to figure out how we gonna do two roofs and then the little senior citizen house for
We just,
$134,000.
this is repairs,
This-
we're not replacing.
No,
Right,
it wasn't repair, but to repair, the roof is all leaking. I
Right.
wanna specify Western Park in there.
You have your information
I
now.
really want it specified. City Park, Western Park, or whatever senior citizen building to be repaired.
Right.
And for once, I like to see it start first. Cause people pay tax back there too, you know.
I'm not sure what you have in your packets. We did have, did y'all have the pictures? No. Okay. Well, I can give this.
But I know I just
I can
want to
give this to
specify
you,
it right.
just so you can understand what,
Yeah.
We had them that one
Do you have the
time.
breakdown for them,
Roof is in bad
Heather, the
shape.
cost
Now,
of the
which one
different
is it?
parts?
we bidded it out as one
One
project.
Who
Okay.
doing
That's
the work,
correct.
Heather?
Danny Miller Roofing,
Okay.
yes, he actually did the work on the sliming, and,
Okay,
and
that's
we
the
are
complete
very
price.
pleased with
That's
what
the
he has
complete
done.
price.
That's correct.
Okay, I can live with that, I'll sleep tonight.
Heather, the one on West End, a few years ago, didn't we repair one side of West End where they had that big air conditioner on the top?
$100,000.
You remember that? So the
Sure
repair on
did.
West End is where?
Actually, it is on the teen side.
The team.
Okay.
Right, right. It's the teen side.
Oh, I know it's the teen
Right.
side leak, the other
And
side
it's,
don't
it's
leak, that's
basically
old
because
stuff.
it's a flat roof.
Oh, yeah,
And that's
Right.
where the issues are,
I understand.
right.
But we never had much problem with that other side, that's old thing.
In the past, we have, and we've taken care of those issues.
Yeah,
Right.
and just see y'all gonna replace the ceiling tile too?
That will eventually come up, you know, we won't do much of anything until the roofs are repaired.
No, that's what I
Once
asked.
it's- once
you
it's
repair the
repaired,
roof, you
right.
can't put that there before, I know a lot about
Right.
building. Can't put the ceiling tile before, cause it's gonna get wet again.
Exactly.
But I'm asking, once they finish with each roof, will they replace that? Not
Most
ceiling
definitely.
tile?
That's a
Okay, thank
yes.
you. That's
Yes.
all. And I want everybody to hear, that's in the cost?
No.
No, no, those
no.
are only for the roof. That's exterior.
Well, I'll go buy y'all some ceiling tile.
Hey, Heather,
Thank you.
Heather, I got a question.
I use the same because they're telling to y'all too high.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I got a question.
Mr. Merrill?
That's wicked. Oh, here, baby, yeah.
Heather, I got a question. By that roof being a flat roof, do you have problems with trees over the top of that roof?
With trees,
On that side?
we have some towards the rear end of that,
And the reason I'm
That roof,
asking because,
yeah.
you know, if we're gonna do some repairs on the top, maybe they can cut them trees over that top,
Away
because that
from-
does play into
right,
But
right.
yes,
It
some of that
does.
as well.
if a pile
Right.
stay there, it develop
Yeah.
a
Right.
whole marsh.
Yeah, now we
Okay.
have a bucket truck.
Yeah.
I'd ask
There you
y'all
go.
to please
There
vote
you
your
go.
machines. This is for the repair of the roofs at the three
Thank you, Heather.
locations.
I
Oh, I'm sorry, you had something, Mr. Lewis? Wait, hold up, Mr. Lewis?
What about the senior citizen building? Is
Right.
that included in this?
Yeah.
The
Be-
roof,
Because
the roof is,
Well,
I'm
what about the
actually,
inside?
I'm actually
That-
working right now with someone to get some cost on
the interior,
right,
I've asked.
right.
because when we
Right.
had the three proposals,
Mhm.
and we had the three proposals, and one of the things that was shown to us was, those of us who were
interior.
here and came to see, was that senior citizen building. It's a historical building, but I don't know how them ladies do, what's that? they do?
Yoga.
Yoga in there.
Very
This is so
gracefully.
nasty.
They are very patient, I'll
And-
tell you.
And it doesn't
Yes, they
reflect
are.
anything that, for sure I reflect.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a neat freak. You might see me any kind of way on the street. I like to be comfortable and I like to move all kind of ways. But when it's time to go somewhere, even in here, I like to be comfortable. So you're subject to see me any kind of way in here. But when I have to go somewhere, but that's not reflected. So you're working on some prices. Will that possibly be another budget amendment that will be brought back in connection, in concert with this stuff here?
Well, I hope
Just the
so.
roof, huh?
If you,
Oh, no.
if you'll allow,
Yeah,
Right
but
now,
I'm
we're
saying,
gonna,
You'll
yeah,
allow-
we're gonna vote on this, but once we can bring it
Yeah,
back.
I'm saying
Once
later.
we get the quotes.
because
Once we
no
get
need
the
to
quotes.
have a nice looking outside and you're nasty on the inside.
right.
That's,
Right.
this is the
Right.
beginning though, because we don't wanna
Right.
repair the inside until we get the.
Yeah, until we get the roof. I
Right.
understand that. Yeah.
No,
I'm not lost with that.
Right, right, okay.
I understand where I'm
Mr.
at.
Mr. Bagnell has something?
That was a thought I had earlier, was we'll be meeting for the annual budget
Right.
in a couple of months, and at that time, I think we can look at the remainder of the repairs that need to be done on our facilities and make sure that's taken care of.
Absolutely.
But the roofs need to be repaired beforehand.
Yes.
I,
Phase one.
Right. Ms. Roban?
I know we like fervent all over
That's okay.
right now, but like, I had a couple of my son's birthday parties at the senior citizen building, and it is, you know, kind of, it could be a lot better, but I think, you know, if we get it started and kick the can down the road, get the roof, I do think that there's some local organizations, I'm not gonna name them and put them on the line, and obligate them to that building, but I think that they would be more than happy to help us, with restoring that building. It's a small building, and I don't think it would be that big of a challenge, so
Great.
hopefully that's something we can work on in the next year.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, if there's no more discussion, I'd ask you to vote your machines. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
The next, thank you very much, Heather. The next agenda item, Madam Clerk, is another amendment. Sorry.
17.
2015-20, budget amendment 2015-2016-17.
Okay, and we've discussed this on numerous occasions. We need bunker gear and fire hoses for our fire department.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lewis and a second by Mr. Merrill. Is there any discussion? Okay, please vote your machines. The chief's here, but if y'all wanna vote,
I think we know.
motion carries unanimously. We want our
You can explain to the
firemen to be
public.
safe. The next agenda item, Madam Clerk, is we have one more budget amendment.
Budget amendment 2015-2016-18.
And this is to appropriate funds to install safety glass in the finance department. We had money in our
Second.
maintenance budget for City Hall, and we have put safety glass, in the main, at the main window. We have a motion and a second, motion by Mr. Swear and a second by Mr. Merrill. Is there any discussion? Please vote your machines. Motion carries
What's
unanimously.
in the glass up here?
Thank you.
Salute.
Thank you very much. The next agenda item are letters from planning and zoning, and it's a resolution, Madam Clerk.
Resolution to recommend approval to rezone property located at 1418 Julia Street by owner David Abear from an R2 to a C4.
Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Merrill, second by Mr. Swear. Is there any discussion?
I have a question.
Okay, Ms. Bro is here this evening.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is for rental to move two houses for rental.
That's correct. Yes,
Okay, and planning and zoning approves that
that's
for
correct.
rental.
Yes.
But just last month, this council rejected people doing what they possibly could do with their own property.
Okay,
In mobile homes.
I'm not quite understanding what that has to do with this.
Well, you don't have to understand. I'm
Okay.
making a statement. And so I'm letting, it's nothing against the gentleman. I'm sure he's a nice person. But now I'm gonna let somebody come move two houses to rent them versus allow people to move a mobile home on their property. So I'm not gonna vote for this. People who own their property.
Explain yourself, Mr.
He owns the property.
He owns the property. He wants to move two houses, and I'm not against the gentleman's concept with what he want to do with his property. But planning and zoning approved this, and I'll see what the council's gonna do. They said, the last meeting, they didn't want to allow people to do with mobile homes what they wanted to do with the consent of their neighbors to the left, the right, and back. So I'm saying why I'm not gonna vote for this. Cut and dry. It's not that funny. It's kinda to the point. So that's why I'm not gonna support this.
Okay.
So,
Is there any further discussion? Please vote your machines. Motion carries, all yes and one no, Mr. Lewis. The next agenda item is a resolution, Madam Clerk.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to sign the property owner agreement between the city of New Iberia, Sally Wormser, Baszler, David Wormser, and John Wormser for the Church Alley Park and Bicycle Trail Grant.
motion.
Motion by Mr.
Second.
Lewis, second by Mr. Merrill. Is there any discussion?
When are they starting so the public can know?
Well, Ms. Burrow will come up and she might have some information
Come
on that
on, let
for
them
you.
know. They want to see results.
Well, this is one of the steps that we have to accomplish is the agreement with the property owners because it's private property and we're gonna hang lights and banners on the sides of the building, so we had to enter into an agreement with the property owners in order to do that. And the next step we're working on, and this actually will take us a little bit further in that direction. We're working with DOTD on the wayfinding signs and the decals that have to be applied to the street showing, you know, you've seen the bicycle paths and you've seen the bicycles in the road. Well, on Main Street, since we can't stripe Main Street, we're going to place the decals along the way. So DOTD wants a survey of each intersection so they'll know exactly where the decals will be located and the turn signals and the arrows will point. And it's a safety feature that we have to have a permit from DOTD because it's, the cyclists will be sharing the, the travel way with vehicles, and so they have to know.
And while
That
we're
is sharing.
discussing it, I can just explain the next resolution. We also need professional services with, to hire Paul Allen and his staff, his son is here also with him, to hire them to work with us on this project. And professional services are not paid for in the grant. So the next agenda item is to ask you to allocate $14,000 for professional services for us to be able to complete this project. It's about a $140,000 project. And most of everything else was in kind. We really have not been out of pocket. Am I correct, Jane?
That's correct. It's an 80-20 grant match, and so the grant funds are gonna cover the construction of the project, and the funding agent said, we haven't bid the project out, and correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, but if the project would happen to come in over bid, the funding agent has suggested that we come back to him. There may be some extra dollars that he can put into construction for us, because they're real excited with the recreational trails grant about this project.
I'm
It's-
sorry, and we have David Allen with us, and then also Chandler Staples, who is an engineer, who'll also be working on the project with them.
So we invested 14,000 to get 125,000 worth of the
Right,
Yeah,
It's a good investment.
so pretty good investment.
yeah.
So do you have any more questions about agenda item 4B? This is you have questions, anyone else?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
one question.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanna make sure, I heard you say about the lights, it's gonna be lighted real well in that area. And the reason I ask, because I know someone that has a hair salon in that area. And they were asking me a little bit about that.
We have a lighting system set up for the project. We actually have a small set of drawings, which we don't mind sharing with y'all.
Yes,
But the idea is to light up the park at night, to make it usable at night. And you're welcome to look at the drawings, and you can pass them around. But the intent is to, it's a kind of a dark area, and there's a lot of pedestrian traffic from Main Street to St. Peter's. There are a number of businesses within that alley that would like a more professional presentation as well. So that's the whole nature of the project. It's kind of in the heart of the whole city. Originally, it was donated by the DuPerrier family, and certainly it's kind of blighted, and it needs to be cleaned up. And the worms are family is very much in favor of
Right.
this project,
I
absolutely.
like how it looks right here. I'm glad because, like I said, I know one of the business owners that has a business in that area. And I talked to the husband and he knew it was coming up. And that was one of his questions. He wanted to know if it was real lighted enough because his wife is in that building and when she comes out at night and so forth and so on.
Sure, in addition to that, there's a lot of wayfinding signage that's gonna go up that describes the history of Church Alley. There's some triangular signs that are already being put up in some of the buildings that Ms. Indes has been involved in. And I know Freddie's been involved in this project since '91, so it's been a lot of effort to get this thing moving forward to this stage. There are some liability issues that Jane just mentioned, to make sure we get this right, because it's a public park, and you're putting bicycles on public ways, so we want to make sure that we meet the requirements for the safety and liability of the city to make sure it's done in an engineering and architectural fashion. So,
It looks real good.
Anyone else has questions? Okay.
So let,
Oh, Peggy, I'm sorry.
At one time, I know they always say I'm out of order. On the historical board, at one time, I think Jan served, was there. I know she's been there forever, poor dog. I'm just saying that because, not that she looked that old, she looked they were talking about renovating those little houses in Vine Alley and what's the name of the other alley? Grape Alley, because they were historical. The Army base men stayed there and the railroad men stayed there. And that hit flat bottom. And they're historical to the city.
They're in the
of
historic
Vine.
district and they're also in the cultural district.
That's right.
So we can look into that and see if there are any financial incentives involved in restoring those structures.
I guess it'll be done the next 6 months, but I'm gonna bring it back up. I'll be
Okay,
coming back.
we'll look into it.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else has anything concerning the agreement with the Worms of Family? If not, I'd ask you to please vote your machines. Motion carries unanimously. And the next resolution, Madam Clerk?
resolution authorizing the mayor to sign an agreement between the city of New Iberia, Paul Allen Architect, and allocate funding in the amount of $14,000 for architectural fees
So move.
for Church Alley bicycle trail.
Motion by Mr. Doyle, second by Mr. Rat. Is there any discussion? Mr. Doyle made it, then Mr. Rat. Please vote your machines.
It's easy to spend money.
Okay, if you vote your machines, please. Oh, motion carries unanimously. Okay, I have a couple of quick announcements. The next city council meeting will be Tuesday, August 2nd, 2016. Mr. Merrill's Neighborhood Watch will be Thursday at 6 o'clock at the Slyman Theater, and qualifying begins tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
The run is on.
Wait, what?
Much run I gotta do. I done done my run.
Oh, and yes, just for everybody to know and for the public to know and to keep Howard Rogers in your prayers. He's been in the hospital for like about a month. He'll be back, but he's had some health issues, so keep him in your prayers.
Hey, Mayor, Mayor,
That's it.
Mr. Swear. He said, Mr.
Oh,
Swear.
one more thing, there'll be some back-to-school programs in the, I think West End Park's holding a huge function to raise funds for back-to-school, if anyone's interested in contributing. Motion to adjourn.
Calvin uses different.
I don't know.
That's just lit.